Hello everyone, Denise here. Today we are going to be making this awesome stitch marker bracelet. So the materials that you will need some yarn, you will need stitch markers, you will need a needle to weave in your ends and attach your closure if you're going to have a closure. And then you're going to need your hook size. So what I did was I made up this one. This is using sock yarn. This is just some sock yarn that I had left over from a project. I don't even know where I got it and how long I've had it. But I thought it would make up a nice bracelet because it was dyed in a manner that has many different colors in it. So I used this sock yarn, and with this sock yarn I used a B or a 2.25 mm hook. You can use whatever you're comfortable with. I also made some other ones. This one is in a lightweight 3 yarn, and the lightweight 3 yarn I used a G or a 4.0 mm hook because that matched that yarn. And then I made one with a worsted weight 4 yarn, which is Red Heart Chic Sheep, and that was the very first one that I made, and I really like it because it's larger and it works up very fast. So this, I used an H hook. Sorry, I will tell you about this in a second. This is a 5.0 mm hook. The reason I have this wrapped around here is because one day my hand was really achy, and these hooks never make my hand ache, but my hand was aching anyway, and so I thought if I had a little bulk here it probably would hurt less. So this is something that you can buy at the dollar store or I don't know, a pharmacy, anywhere, but I bought this at Dollar Tree, and it is sort of a self-adhesive bandage, kind of like an ace bandage but not. It's really stretchy and flexy, so if you have some hooks that you have at home that are too small for your hands and you don't like the way you have to grip them so much, you can go ahead and just like this wooden hook. There's nothing on here, so just take this. It's not sticky, and you can just wrap it as much as you want, and I tell you, these packages have a lot in them for $1. And sometimes you just need that little extra something to hold on to. And it's grippy too, so it's kind of nice. I didn't want to take it off because I've been enjoying it, but this is my H hook. So I used that with a Red Heart Chic Sheep yarn. And these stitch markers I got at Hobby Lobby. They had a set that had lobster claw clasps on them, and then they had a set that was just round, and they all came together, and I used a coupon, and I think it was like maybe $3 or something. So if you don't make stitch markers, this is a great alternative to go ahead and just pick some up from one of the craft stores with a coupon. I thought they were pretty darn cute, and just attach them that way. These are charms that I got at Hobby Lobby, like this dove one. You could just buy any charm and attach a lobster claw clasp to it, and essentially that's a stitch marker. And then you just take your stitch marker and you put it wherever you want on your bracelet, and you have a stitch marker bracelet. I love this idea. I can't wait to wear mine because every time I leave the house and I need a stitch marker, I of course don't have them. And I thought, why not have an accessory that you could wear all the time with whatever charms that you like, that you could put on here with a lobster claw clasp, or like I said, buy your own stitch markers already done from Hobby Lobby or Joann, or wherever they sell stitch marker sets. And you can be wearing this bracelet all the time, and you don't even need to have a stitch marker, but when you do need one, it's there. I love this idea. I think it's pretty cool. So let's get started on this tutorial. So when you begin your bracelet, you need to decide if you are going to have a closure on the end like a lobster claw clasp, or this one that is magnetic that I picked up from, I think, Michael's quite a while ago. And then you attach these two to each end like this. You need to decide that when you're starting your bracelet. And if you have an end that you want to put on, you just go ahead and you'll just leave a regular tail at the end. But if you're going to not use a closure and you are going to do what I did on this one, and that is just you wrap it around you and then you tie it. I'll show you, I'll start the pattern doing this, because obviously if you're going to make one that just has a tail, you know how to attach your jewelry end to your tail if you already own them. So I'm going to show you how to do the chain method and the tie method for if you do not have a closure, so that you can wear it with just a tie like this. Okay, so I'm going to use the Red Heart Chic sheep. That is what I designed this pattern in, and I'm going to use my H-hook that's all wrapped up. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to start with a pretty long tail, because we are going to make the one that is going to be tied. So I would just go ahead and guesstimate how many chains that you would need, how much yarn you would need for 12 chains. So, 6 to 8 inches, not a ton. And then go ahead and make a slip knot. And then we are going to start. We will chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are going to slip stitch into our first chain to make a loop. Now we're not going to chain anything, we're just going to go right in the circle and do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do one more single crochet in our loop here. Okay, so now we're going to turn. We have something that looks like this. Now we're going to put 6 single crochets in our chain 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're getting pretty tight here, so what I do is I take this chain 4 and I kind of pull a little bit, and we're going to put one more single crochet in that space. And that is going to be the repeat of our pattern. So we will turn. In our chain 4 space here, we will put 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull a little bit. Put a single crochet back into this space. And then we're going to turn. See how we're growing here? Now we're going to repeat the same thing. 6 single crochets. And chain 4. Pull. Put another single crochet in there. Now we are going to continue this until we have the length that we want for our bracelet. If you do not know the measurement of your wrist, does not matter. You can just go ahead and lay your piece around your wrist until it is the right measurement. If you are making this for somebody else, the standard measurement for a small wrist is 6 inches. A medium wrist is 7 inches and a large wrist is 8 inches. So if this will be a gift for someone, go ahead and go by those measurements. Your closure at the end will add a little bit, as well as if you have a tie closure, it can be easily adjusted. So I am going to go ahead and continue with this. I will meet up with you when I get to my desired size. Okay, now that we have the size that we want for our bracelet, to finish off the tie end and or the end that you're going to add a lobster claw clasp or whatever attachment that you're going to put for your closure, this is what we need to do. We are going to turn our work and do 3 single crochets in this space. And then we are going to, if you would be doing a closure, you would go ahead and cut off and pull through. But since we're not on this bracelet, we are doing the tie closure, we are going to chain 12. And now we're going to cut off our yarn and then pull our yarn through. And on this end, since we're doing the tie closure, we are going to put our hook in wherever in this hoop here, and then we are going to pull a loop up and just go ahead and slip stitch to the end here with your end of your yarn, and then chain your 12. I didn't leave enough end. Okay, so I'm gonna do 10 on this because I didn't leave a long enough end, and pull through. Okay, so now all we have to do, if we are going to tie the ends together like we are in this one, all we need to do is finish off the ends. And how I finish off an end that is a chain is I just put a knot in the end. I'll wrap the yarn around my finger, and then I go ahead and make the knot on the chain. And that makes it harder for it to come loose, and then I will cut the yarn pretty close. Just make a little end there. Do the same thing on this end. For like, I do this for like baby booties, when you put a string through them to tie them closed and make a chain, and then I finish off this way. So there you have it. That is a bracelet. All you need to do is add stitch markers. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really was excited to make this. I really enjoy the fact that I can wear this even when I'm not going to be crafting, and it will have all of my favorite little stitch markers on it, and if I need them, then I have them with me. This is good for knitters and crocheters because the clasps would be, you know, lobster claws, so that would work with either knitting or crochet. And I think it would make a wonderful gift. I think if you know a crafter and you're at a loss for what to give them for a gift, this is a great option. If you don't know their size, just go ahead and make this chain. If you have a guesstimate at their size, go ahead and use those measurements that I gave you. 6 inches for small, 7 inches for medium, and 8 inches for large. And I made mine large enough to go around, and it's a little bit loose, and so it works out great. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really enjoy each and every one of your comments that you leave, and I will continue to bring you content that you desire. So my next video will be a household item because that was what was in the poll. And so until next time, guys.